All right, this is where we left off. Everything's back in. Took it all apart because I couldn't figure out why I had 5 clutch discs, but I only had this many steels. And that's very freaking confusing until I read right here. There's now available under OEM part number that includes a new apply ring with shorter legs, new apply brake, new thicker steel plates, new selective backing plates, and an instruction sheet. That's what came in my kit without the instruction sheet. So, back to where we left off and putting the thing together. All right, so after all kind of confusion, my buddy helped me out right, did what it was supposed to do. The new revision was the right one, and I'm going to put in the drum band. I gotta move this. Yeah, okay, that's it. And this does fit right in that hole on this underside. Just like that. This might need to go lower. Wiggle it. Alright, that pops in there. Yep, that holds onto this. And then this pops into this little hole over on this side. Line it up with this one. There you go. So the bottom of this band has a little piece that sticks down. And you have to line that up in this hole here. Okay. So that's the bottom of the band sitting in there. There's a pin that pushes up on that. Alright, got the band back in it. What's next? Got the pin in. I lined it up through the bottom of the case with a screwdriver, held it in, and then stuck this pin in the keeper hole on this band. Get the old one, I'll show you. So I believe one of the bolts for the pump anchors this through here, and this hole sits like this. And that little pin I put in fits in that hole. And now I'm going to do the pump. So use these specialized pliers I got here. Loosen up this pump puller. It doesn't go on super tight. Alright, so upon further inspection of this front pump, I'm dead in the water. I gotta order a pump for it. I thought I was gonna be able to change the bush and then send it. But if you could see where this front bushing went in, where's the old bushing? That's the new bushing. Thought I was gonna be able to put a bushing in it. There you go. Here's the old bushing. It's been spinning inside the pump, and the split is where my leak was coming from. So this was just sitting here rotating with the converter. This is an aftermarket. That's already been rebuilt once, so that explains why all the clutches look so good. But I'm at a standstill until I get a new pump. Hey, look, we're still putting this thing back together. It's the next day. Cold front came through, it's overcast and raining, and I'm kind of nervous because all this metal is just open. So I poured a bunch of transmission fluid on it to kind of save it. And now I'm figuring out what these extra tools are that I got in my tool kit. So I got this aluminum tube with a beveled edge. It's just got like a little bevel there. Well, what this does is this actually shrinks the Teflon rings back down on the stator shaft here. So you just kind of push, and there's 4 of them. And just wiggle back and forth, and it'll get all 4 back down to the size that they need to be. And now these are nice and tight down on that shaft there. Can you dig it? So I got 2 more on this pump. Funny story. I couldn't rebuild my other pump because here's the other one. So this puts the Teflon rings back on your pump. It's beveled, and put a little goo on it and slide it over there. So I couldn't rebuild my old pump because there was a crack in the front. I put a picture up. I'll do it again. And the front plate was cracked. So got a new one, went down to pick it up, and the new one, or the reman that I had gotten, was missing. I got these 5 bolts here. It was missing 3 of them. It had like this one and this one in or something. So I had to go drive another hour and a half from my house. I'm like, if it's missing those 3 bolts, what else is it missing, right? So went from a bead of springs to Harahan, and went to go swap it out. The next one in the box also had only 2 bolts in it. So I had to get my old one, pull the 3 bolts out of my core that I gave to the dudes, and put them back in here, torque them down. But now it's time to put the Teflon rings on the pump here and here. So I know how to do that now. Get you some goop. And Teflon rings. Green them up. And you gotta stretch them on, but then you squeeze them back down. So this is not like an O-ring where it's like stretching and it'll stick. This is Teflon. Once you stretch it out, it's screwed until you squeeze it back. I tried doing this with gloves. I can't do it with gloves. I'm not that good yet. So yeah, it doesn't want to go down. I took my little pick, going through a whole roll of paper towels, just wiping my hands in between grabbing tools. So I just take my pick, and this one's got kind of like a little round angle on it, right angle. So I'm gonna kind of just work it around until it gets in the groove. I don't want to stretch it out too much, but I gotta stretch it out enough to make it slide in. So this deep Teflon seal is now in its home. And then I'll put some goo on this. Never hurts. And once you move it a couple times, just the heat of your finger gets it warm. So let's see if this will squeeze this on here. My buddy Jake, he helped me put this thing back together. He used to work for a Chevy dealership. He did this a bunch, but that was also like 15 years ago for him. So he was like, I don't know what these do either. Well, my buddy Jason, I've grown up with doing hot rod stuff. I turn this back and forth, be real gentle with it, and squeeze those. Yeah, be careful you don't ruin them like this. Make sure it's all in the hole. Yeah, my buddy Jason, and we built that S10 back in high school in the late 90s. He ended up working for a transmission parts store. So I call him every now and then. He's like, I ain't never built the transmission, but I know all the parts to it. Well, that's a big help. This is a larger ring. It might take a little hammer. I'm just doing it a little bit at a time to make sure it shrinks on evenly. This would be your O-ring shrinker. People that know what they're doing, if anybody's watching me beat on this thing, you're like, oh, they're probably cringing in their seat, but I don't know. All I do know is they say use plenty of the goo, so I'm gooing it. Sideways. All right, liking that. I'm down. So like when you pry, you just want to go in and like twist. You don't really want to pull up. It just kind of bends the screwdriver. There it went. Supposed to use the goo, man. There it goes. So it is pretty much wiped it clean with goo. I'll take some more goo and I'll put it on this bushing on the inside here. That's cool. It just shrunk this Teflon right down close to the shaft. How it's supposed to go. I've got some goo in there. Put some goo on this one because once it comes through, you're not going to be able to get your finger in it. And a lubed bushing is a good thing. So which way does this go? Well, there's a bunch of little holes right here. I got a 50-50 shot of lining this thing up, I guess. Man, I'm gonna go give me a lottery ticket. Does it go the other way just to see? No, because there's these holes here. Nope, that was it. First shot. Dude, this lottery ticket time, bro. So all these thousands of holes right here, they just line right up. Boom. No? Nope. Wrong. Oh, I was over one notch. There we go. That was it. Man, right the first time. Don't tell my wife. Alright. Cool. I like it. That's in there. Now I can drop the pump down. Goo or no goo? How about put it on and then goo? Okay. It slips in its own little groove. Doing my best not to stretch any of this stuff because I want it to go in right. This one's rubber. Feels like a regular O-ring. Sure, they just want that yellow. It says twisted. You want that yellow to be right. Square, it can go in twisted. I had a transmission rebuilt by a shop in Mississippi that this must have twisted when it went back on because the fastest I could pour a fluid in, it was coming out. So had to pull that trans back out. That's the truck. That's my pre-runner truck right now. Had to pull that trans back out. The dude changed the seal. Gave me $100 for the fluid that was all lost, so that was cool. And then, yep, colors that all the way. So in this ATSG service group 4L60 only, see I was here last time when I was putting all the clutches for the second, third, and fourth gear, or second, third, and overdrive back together. They got exploded views of the pump. Install in and outer cover, install converter clutch, apply a valve into the same bore, install a thrust washer. Yep, got all that. Thrust washer is this dude. We're using it. And it goes teeth down. That's what it shows in the picture. Thought it went teeth up. That's how it was when I took it apart. It does go teeth up, it goes in here. Alright, so take and install this. Got these two little deals that stick up. Y'all know what I want to say, but you know, being politically correct nowadays, you can't say what it used to be. So these pop in these, those little prongs that stick up, go in these two holes here. Stays pretty good. Just to let you know, you can't stick this up here and just expect it to fit in right. It's got to go on the bottom of the pump. And I've got all my Teflon rings squeezed down. All these are nice and square. All those are nice and square. Install oil pump assembly. Install oil pump to case gasket in a case with and retain with trans gel. Boom. Install alignment dowels into the transmission case. I ain't got alignment dowels. Lubricate case pump bore with O-ring with trans gel for ease of installation. Install new O-rings onto the front pump retaining bolts. Okay. So I got assembly goo. I ain't got trans gel. I guess that's ATSG's version. This is LubeGuard's version. So I will put this where the gasket sits. Get up on the dowel. Right. So I guess in a crack, put a bunch of this stuff so it sticks. So 3 holes, 7 holes, or 5 holes, and we'll put this in nice and flat. Oh man, this stuff does tack it down good. It's kind of why I put it in the crease, like right here. I knew that paper would stick really, really good in that crease. All right, so here's the old bolts. I'll clean them up in a second, but they do have O-rings on the backside. I'm gonna dig all those out, put fresh ones, because they do get squished pretty good. I don't think that's gonna seal. But to make sure it seals, put a little bit of RTV on these threads, so you got sealing behind the head and sealing on the threads, so nothing comes up through the threads with the internal pressures of the case. So, lubricate the pump bore with O-ring rides. Install new O-rings onto the front pump retaining bolts. Boom. Install complete oil pump assembly into the transmission case using alignment dowels. I ain't got that, but it goes here and here. So on the pump, where the pump goes, all of your vanes point down to the pan. So I can slide this on here. Because your lockup solenoid goes right here, and there's something else that goes right here. Now, did it spin too much? Yes. Nothing's touching it, so. This is what I'm looking at. As all this stuff comes through, I hope the rain ain't too loud, you can hear me. And if you've never done this, you're right here with me. So, when the pump drops in, your converter will lock up, and whatever solenoid this is, and that one there, the pump has to come down through. So it's lined up as it is. I just got to get it all the way down, and I'm scared to death to push, but let's do it. I can see the holes are straight down, so it's lined up. Before I push, is there anything it says to do? Install the bolts, remove the dowels, install the remaining bolts. There should be clearance between the reverse light in-hop pushing, blah, 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 blah. Okay, cool. Let's do it. And then don't forget your O-ring on this turbine shaft that goes right here. That will actually hold the whole pump from coming off of the transmission. So, man, here's the sketchy part. So then now, put some RTV, like your boy says. I'm gonna run them down. I hope I didn't forget anything. But at least I know how to take it apart, if I did. I'm doing this by hand instead of with a wrench or a driver because I want to feel when they touch. I want to just kind of go around in a circle until it pulls the whole thing down. I'm just kind of watching the gasket go half a turn at a time until it pulls it in. That O-ring is high on this side, so pull it in. But it doesn't look like it's riding up, and I wonder if I should be doing this or not. It's going in kind of cocked. Like to straighten it out. Like I said, I don't know if I'm doing wrong by doing this or not, but it says to install it. So I definitely put a little gap over here. Just want it to go in straight. That's pulling it in nice. Yeah, I'm just gonna take my time with it. All right, got old school here. Half the 3/8 adapter. I don't think that's gonna mess with 18 foot-pounds a whole lot. 13mm socket on Titan. You know when you take the foot-pounds? Yes, foot-pounds. Whenever you store your wrench, you're supposed to take the weight off the spring. So 10, 18, lock it in. Which ain't nothing. That's it, 18 foot-pounds. The gasket's smashed. It's all straight. Yep. So I got accumulators to put back in, wiring harness, all the check balls where they belong. Hey y'all, thanks for watching. That's gonna do it for this week. I'm gonna stop right there at the valve body. It's a good stopping point. Man, nerve-wracking, having not really done the whole complete thing before, and this is all #1 learning process, and I'm dying to see if it's gonna get in this truck and actually work. So thank y'all for pressing that like and subscribe button and checking me out every week. Appreciate the 325 people now that watch me do what I do. So thanks for watching Modified. Catch you next week.